A 27-year-old man is behind bars accused of fatally shooting his uncle following an argument over a broken television. At 1:18 p.m. on Saturday the 5th of July, authorities responded to a residence at 202 Lakewood Road in Pensacola, Florida on reports of shots fired. A woman told dispatch that her grandson, 27-year-old O'Neill Thompson, had shot her son, Thaddeus Williamson, his uncle, inside the home and fled the scene, providing a description of O'Neill and his clothing. O'Neill was quickly located by authorities and taken into custody a few blocks from the scene. During the detention, he made the spontaneous statement that he shot his uncle in self-defense because he was attacking him. O'Neill was searched and a gun was located on his person. At the residence, medics made contact with Thaddeus, who was bleeding and suffering from several gunshot wounds. Emergency medical services transported him to a local hospital for treatment, but he succumbed to his injuries and was pronounced dead at the facility. In a post-Miranda interview with detectives, O'Neill allegedly continued to claim that he acted in self-defense when killing his uncle. He claimed that his uncle was giving him a TV, but the two got into an argument because the TV wasn't working. At some point during the argument, O'Neill said his uncle became physical and started fighting him, so he went outside and called his mother and told her about it. While outside, O'Neill said his uncle was yelling at him through the closed front door. When he went back in, he claimed Thaddeus got aggressive with him and postured as if he was about to fight. O'Neill stated that he tried to get Thaddeus to stop being aggressive with him because he did not want to fight. He said that he then brandished his firearm, which he had concealed along his front waistline, and cocked it, hoping to get Thaddeus to stop. He then said that Thaddeus asked him, "What are you going to do, shoot me?" He stated that Thaddeus continued to be aggressive with him even after he showed him his firearm. O'Neill said his uncle never made an attempt to take the gun from him, but he felt that his life was in danger, so he decided to shoot. He could not recall how many times he fired. Pressed by police as why he thought his life was in danger, O'Neill allegedly said he did not know if his uncle was armed and didn't know what his uncle might do. However, O'Neill's grandmother told police that O'Neill came to the house already very angry and started an argument with his uncle. She said the confrontation became physical and she separated them before turning around and started to walk away. Very shortly after she turned around, she heard several gunshots. She immediately turned back around and saw O'Neill with a firearm in his hand and Thaddeus on the floor. O'Neill was charged with murder and he remains at the Escambia County Jail without bond. A woman is behind bars for allegedly beating a man to death with a hammer. On Tuesday the 1st of July, 21-year-old Journee McGrew allegedly lured 41-year-old Woodley Waduta to her apartment at Cross Creek Apartment Complex at 1441 Montauk Avenue in Jacksonville, Florida. Journee sent Woodley a text claiming she had been sexually fantasizing about him and regretted treating him poorly, inviting him over that night. Journee later told investigators that Woodley had been sexually grooming her since she was 8 years old and had assaulted her multiple times. By 1 a.m. on Wednesday the 2nd of July, Woodley allegedly pressured Journee for sex, which she refused, asking him to leave. As they walked toward the front entrance of her apartment, Journee grabbed a metal hammer, hid it behind her back, and when Woodley grabbed her in a non-forceful manner, began striking him with it. At 3:36 a.m., Jacksonville police responded to a reported dispute at apartment 207. When officers arrived, they found Woodley's blood-soaked body lying in front of the apartment, with severe blunt force trauma to his head and face. A piece of paper on his chest written in green highlighter ink read, "Pedo touches children." Medics pronounced him dead at the scene, and an autopsy by the medical examiner determined that he died from multiple chop injuries and ruled his death a homicide. When officers ordered Journee to exit her apartment, she complied and asked if Woodley was still alive as she was being detained. Investigators obtained a search warrant for her apartment and discovered bloody footprints leading from the front door to the bathroom, where they found a metal hammer in the sink with blood on its handle. A sink drain plug, later found in Journee's bedroom, tested positive for blood. Police also recovered blood-covered items, including Crocs slippers, a black tank top and sweatpants, as well as a notebook with loose paper and a green highlighter matching the ink used on the note. Journee reportedly called 2 family members in Palatka after the incident, though details of those conversations are unclear. Journee was arrested and charged with second-degree murder and tampering with evidence. She remains held at the Duval County Jail without bond, with her next court date scheduled for the 24th of July. 20-year-old Maya Hernandez faces charges after she allegedly left the 2 young children in a hot car, resulting in the death of one of them. On the afternoon of the 29th of June, Maya drove to a medical spa in Bakersfield, California with her 2 sons, a 2-year-old boy and 1-year-old Emilio Gutierrez, for a lip filler procedure. Early that morning, Maya called the facility to ask if she could bring her children inside. A spa responded, "Sure, if you don't mind them waiting in the waiting room, hun." Despite this, when Maya arrived at the clinic at 2 p.m, she left the boys strapped in their car seats inside her locked 2022 Toyota Corolla Hybrid as air temperatures reached 101 degrees Fahrenheit. Maya filled out the paperwork and underwent the cosmetic procedure, which typically takes 15 to 20 minutes. However, employees of the medical spa told police it was a busy day, and Maya was away from her car for about 2.5 hours, never checking on her children during that time. Maya later told police she thought her boys will be okay because she left the air conditioning on. Investigators later learnt from the vehicle's manufacturer that the car's engine automatically shuts off after about an hour of idling, leaving the boys without air conditioning for roughly an hour and a half. When they were found, the car felt warm inside. At 4:30 p.m, Maya returned to her car and discovered Amelia foaming at the mouth and having a seizure. Employees rushed to assist, bringing the 2-year-old inside to cool him down with water. Police arrived at the scene by 4:45 p.m. Emilio, with a body temperature of 107 degrees Fahrenheit, was rushed to a hospital where he was pronounced dead at 5:48 p.m. His older brother was hospitalized and later placed in child protective custody. When informed of her younger son's death, Maya admitted to police that she knew it was irresponsible to leave the children in the car. She acknowledged thinking about it when she got out of the car, but offered no justification for her decision. Maya was charged with 1 count of manslaughter and 2 counts of willful cruelty to a child. On the 1st of July, Maya appeared in court and pleaded not guilty to the charges. She remains held at the Kern County Jail on more than $1 million bail. She's scheduled for a preliminary hearing on the 14th of July. The boy's father, who's currently incarcerated, was informed of Emilio's death by a jail chaplain. A 29-year-old man is behind bars accused of killing a 24-year-old man. At 4:09 a.m. on Tuesday the 8th of July, authorities responded to an apartment in the 1100 block of Austin Grove Drive in Raleigh, North Carolina after receiving a 911 call to complete a welfare check. When officers arrived on scene, they entered the premises and found 24-year-old William Hala barely clinging to life, who authorities said appeared to be a victim of an assault. He was rushed to a local hospital where he died. Later that night, police located and arrested the suspect, 29-year-old Jonathan Daniel Lee, and charged him with murder. He remains held without bond in the Wake County Jail. The motive of the killing and the relationship between the suspect and the victim is unclear, as the investigation into the matter continues. A 36-year-old woman is behind bars after allegedly stabbing a man during a confrontation. At 12:27 p.m. on Monday the 7th of July, authorities responded to a residence in the 700 block of University Drive in Waldorf, Maryland for a report of a stabbing. When officers arrived, they entered the premises and found a 49-year-old man with stab wounds to his left forearm and left rib cage. The victim identified 36-year-old Delaina Sweet as the person who stabbed him, stating the assault occurred in his bedroom after he confronted her for rummaging through his belongings. He described the suspect as a white female dressed in black leggings and a black top, who fled the scene on foot. Authorities said that Delaina was an acquaintance of the victim, but did not elaborate on their relationship. Police observed blood throughout the house, including on the walls, furniture and floors, with a blood trail leading from the bedroom to the living room where the victim was found. Emergency medical personnel transported the victim to Capital Region Medical Center for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. Later, a detective located Delaina walking near her home about 2 miles away from the crime scene on Smitty Circle in White Plains. When questioned about a knife, she admitted to having one in her purse and then requested a lawyer. She was taken into custody and transported to the Charles County Detention Center. During a search at the detention center, authorities found a hollow glass tube commonly linked to drug use hidden in Delaina's bra and a small kitchen knife in her purse. Upon learning her purse was held at the facility, Delaina spontaneously remarked there was blood all over it. Delaina is charged with first-degree assault and possession of a contraband in a place of confinement. She currently remains held without bond, with a preliminary hearing scheduled for the 8th of August. A man is behind bars accused of fatally shooting a mother of 4 in a motel room. At around 6:40 p.m. on Friday the 4th of July, authorities responded to the Deluxe Inn at 325 US Highway 70 Southwest in Hickory, North Carolina on reports of an unresponsive female. When officers arrived, they entered the motel room where they found the woman, identified as 30-year-old Mary Ervin, deceased with a gunshot wound. During the investigation, police identified 30-year-old James Hauser as a suspect, who fled the area after the shooting. Following an extensive search, police located James in Catawba County on the afternoon of Wednesday the 9th of July and arrested him. He's charged with murder and remains held at the Catawba County Detention Facility without bond. A 45-year-old woman is behind bars for allegedly killing her 42-year-old husband. At around 3 a.m. on Tuesday the 8th of July, authorities responded to a reported shooting at 307 Woodhouse Drive in Elizabethtown, North Carolina. Arriving officers found 42-year-old Aaron Daine Smith suffering from gunshot wounds. He died from his injuries while being transported to a hospital. The Elizabethtown Police Department identified Aaron's wife, 45-year-old Charlotte Brandy Smith, as a suspect in his death. She was not present when officers arrived at the scene. The following day, Charlotte was arrested during a traffic stop in the Troy area of Montgomery County, North Carolina, following a tip from the Bladen County Sheriff's Office. She's been charged with first-degree murder and is being held without bond at the Bladen County Detention Facility.